Hello, and welcome to another Fire Emblem Heroes Unit of Ideas video. Today, as you can see on screen, it is for Choose Your Legends 5. I have some ideas I'm really proud of. One, I'm less so. I'm not too familiar with some of these units, but oh boy, the ones I created are great. Just gonna mention, spoilers for Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yeah, the ideas for the Three Houses characters are spoilery to an extent. Especially one of them. What am I kidding? You know which Gatekeeper doesn't have an extensive backstory. I'm not familiar with Erica's game, Sacred Stones, and I have not played Marth's games yet. So, those two were sketch, but I think I did a pretty good job at what I got. First up is the mascot of the Fire Emblem series, Marth. Last name unknown. So, he is an offensive unit with a stat spread based off of a fast sword, despite being a dagger. Why is he a dagger? It's simple. I wanted him to still wield the falchion in Choose Your Legends, but I also didn't want him being a sword unit for the umpteenth time. So I chose this. Falchion daggers. I mean, the 11 daggers is this close enough. My other option was we tie a bowstring to the falchion and call it a bow and arrow. So, but he has Swift Sparrow 3, Odd Tempest, Fire Emblem, which thing I'm gonna say quickly, if Fire Emblem gets an upgraded version as a legendary remix skill, all Marths that have it available, because I think Young Marth has it too, should also get that upgrade. Especially this one if Fire Emblem gets an upgrade before he releases. Now let's get into two new skills. Distant Call. Literally just close call for ranged units. It'd probably be super limited, but that's it. And then Falchion Daggers. Effective against dragons. If unit doubles, grants +5 to all stats. If the special triggers during combat, unit can make another action. And boosts damage reduction skills by 10%. So let's say you had 40% damage reduction, it would become 50% damage reduction, and you could stack that on top of a Flame, basically making you invulnerable. With a good healer, which, let's be honest, Flame is. So that's Marth. Erica, you can see I definitely love damage reduction skills. She is wielding the Blazing Signet. Athram's weapon. I thought that was appropriate. I'm not familiar with her. I consulted a friend who's played the games. That was his best suggestion too. Mirror Strike 3. Or I can't remember the name for it, but the skill that's Mirror Strike, Swift Sparrow, but for both defensive stats. Moonblow, Rally Defense Res, Blazing Signet, and Close Wall. Close Wall is pretty much Dragon's Wall, but based on a unit's res. I think it makes pretty much sense. Interrupted, unit can counter regardless of distance. If unit's HP is below 50%, above 50%, calculates damage based on lower of foe's defense/res, grants resonant blades to adjacent allies. I wanted there to be an extra fun little effect there. I'm kind of basically putting in little extra weird and wacky effects into their weapons. I think that's fun to make them interesting. So in her case, she straight up just gets resonant blades naturally to adjacent allies for that turn. And in Marth's case, moves an extra time. The legendary hero, the meme of the decade, Gatekeeper. So he has Fail Not, Warp, Noontime, Close Ward, and Saros' Shield. I will go over those 3 new skills in a minute. Well, I'll start in order of least complex to most complex. Saros' Shield inflicts gravity on foes in cardinal directions. Also acts as a damage reduction skill based on speed. Pretty simple. So, I think that's appropriate because that prevents them from moving as much, and he's the gatekeeper. It's his job to keep people out, not let them in. Ironic considering his next skill we're talking about. Warp. Basically, any unit on the map that is your unit, he can warp to and switch places with. So let's say the bottom left corner of the map is Gatekeeper, top right corner of the map is Erica. Gatekeeper can quickly warp to that spot where Erica is. Only slight, massive problem. It prevents both of them from moving. So, basically, it will automatically act as Erica has already moved your turn, and same with Gatekeeper. So, you'd want Erica to attack the enemy, then have Gatekeeper warp with her. Make sense? Good. Fail Not. Okay. If unit's HP is below 75%, grants Desperation. If unit initiates combat, activate Null Seed Disrupt. And on even-numbered turns, activate Skill Swap. So this is a brand new type of ability I have created. Hence why Gatekeeper's so complicated and probably the longest section of the video. Skill Swap. Attack speed swaps with defense/res. If the stats are not even, distribute the stats evenly between the specific stats being swapped. If the stats cannot be split evenly, add remaining numbers to HP. So for example, Gatekeeper's attack stat is 43, and his speed stat is 40. Note, it's 53, it says there, but plus an attack from weapon. Weapons don't count for this equation. So what would happen is his attack would go down to 41, his speed would go up to 41, and then the extra 1 left over would go to the HP. If that makes sense. So basically, every turn, he switches what he's using. And I would love to reflect that in his weapon. I was thinking, since he's the Gatekeeper of the Church of Saros, maybe he wields different hero relics. So, like, offensively, he has something like Fail Not. And defensively, I'm not too familiar with all the heroes' relics. But maybe defensively, I can't remember its name, but the one Yuri has. Something like that would be really neat. But let's get on to Marion, which is my personal favorite of the bunch in terms of ideas. And last, but certainly not least, although let's be honest, Gatekeeper was the most ambitious of all these ideas, is Marion. With Crest of Beast, Gale Force, Bonus Doubler, Wandering Beast, and Fatal Smoke. Now, I'm gonna just get into this. I'm gonna discuss her a bit because I love this. So, Wandering Beast turns foes' penalty into buffs for units and turns invisible buffs into visible ones. Basically, invisible buffs are buffs that apply to the unit but are not calculated via skills like Bonus Doubler. And then Crest of Beast. If unit can counterattack regardless of range, unit has Salvage Blow in their weapon, and then one of the beast standard beast effect activates. Unit can move an extra space, which means she can move 4 spaces in a turn. Accelerate special cooldown by 1, grants attack/speed -5 to foes in all cardinal directions, and grants 5 defense and res. Which basically means if she attacks someone, she gets +5 to all stats. Because of Wandering Beast. Now, why is she a beast unit? The others made relative sense. It is because of her crest. Her crest is basically cursed. So, just like Violet at the start of the game, when you use her and her crest activates, it's just called Mystery Crest. Violet gets updated to Crest of Flames once Violet's crest is revealed. But Marianne's does not until Marianne's crest gets revealed during her paralogue, being the Crest of Beast. Basically, the Beast units that are basically wild monsters in Three Houses, her crest may or may not have turned her ancestor into a wild monster that's also immortal. So basically, that's what this is from. Also ignore the Beast XP icon as Wandering Beast. I didn't want to create a new one. So that was my ideas for all of them. That's it. That's my ideas for all 4 Choose Your Legends winners. Personally, my favorite goes to Marianne. The thing is, she's one of my lesser liked characters of Three Houses popular female characters. But I do really like her backstory. I don't like her personality too much. It's my personal opinion. But her backstory and her lore is incredible. Genuinely, I like her on that merit alone. So, I would love to see her get an alt in the game where she is a beast unit. And she transforms into a wandering beast, like her ancestor did. Like, the thing is, Heroes has this opportunity to make these AU units exist. Like Evil Dead Prince Crom from Cypher. Or Wandering Beast Marianne. I want to see these units. And Heroes doesn't do it. Hence why this series exists. So, next episode will probably be an AU episode. I guess just alternate universe characters that have some lore or otherwise official media that supports them. Like Crom, like Marianne, that aren't really canon, but have ties. So I can maybe make them into units. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Okay, this is Drax Looks at Life. Hope you all enjoyed this BG 2006 video. Make sure to subscribe to BG 2006 if you have not already.